Hi everybody, welcome to week 1 virtual workouts. I have a bit of a strength / footwork workout for you guys, focusing on lower body. This is going to include a little bit, like I said, a little lower body strength, then some defensive footwork, then some offensive footwork. The idea here is it should take you about 45 minutes total, and as we'll kind of keep reminding you guys, always a good idea to get in about 10 to 15 minutes of light cardio before you jump into these workouts, just to warm your body up and then also stretch as well. Okay, so without further ado, hopefully you guys can hear me. For this workout, you're going to need 4 cones. That's it. Actually, if you have 6 or 7, that's great. As long as you can get to 4 cones, we're in good shape. Starting out, put yourself in the middle of a diamond shape. Okay, so if you're standing in the middle, you've got about a foot in between yourself and each of these cones. So the first thing that we're going to work on is one leg balance and strength. Okay, so what you're going to do is the first time around, you're going to stand on your right leg, you're going to reach out with your left, and you're just going to use your heel to tap each cone. All right, so work on getting your arms up, getting good defense. Use your heel to tap each cone and see if you can't get around that 10 times. Okay, so for example, this is a great time to pause the video, get your 10 reps in, stretch a little bit, because you should be feeling it in your glutes. All right, then you're going to obviously go ahead, do the same thing on your left, get your 10 reps in. Whew. I need to work on mine. All right, so tapping, 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 in any order that you want, but go ahead and make sure that you get 10 reps in. Okay, next level is what you're going to do is go back to your right foot, whichever foot you originally stood on. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to lunge over each cone. Okay, so this is your home base. You're getting a lunge in. Okay, focusing on knee being over our toes. Right, lunge back, same thing to the side. Okay, we're going to lunge back and we're going to lunge across. Okay, in every case, taking the time to make sure that we don't allow our knee to go over our toes like this. Okay, when we get into those front lunges or any lunge, you want your knees straight down, straight above your toes. Okay, so again, we're going to go 10 times around each way. Over, 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 and over. Okay, same thing on your left leg. Last thing that we're going to do with some of this strength here is now we're going to, using our right leg, we're going to hop to each of the cones. Got it? So you're here and I want you to control your landing and hop back. Woo! See? Work in progress here, okay? So you're going to here, control your landing, hop back, control your landing, hop back, control your landing, hop back, control your landing, and hop back. All right, if that's not burning, we're probably not doing it right. Okay, so go ahead and get 10 reps of all those things in on each leg. Then you're probably going to need a little breather. Then come back to me. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is this is a great time to film yourselves, especially uncommitted 21s, 22s, 23s. But all of you, if you film yourself, you can, on your iPhone, whatever, you can go ahead and evaluate your form on the back end. All right, you guys, now we're gonna get into the defensive footwork portion of this. Okay, so what you need now is you need your 4 cones set up into a square. If you have a goal, a bounce back, a wall, anything, it'd be a great idea if you can kind of face that wall, and everything that we do here, you accelerate out, pick up a ground ball, get your shot off. Okay, so shot, pass, whatever it is. So everything that we do whenever you get to the last cone in the footwork, accelerate out towards the wall, towards the bounce back, whatever it is. I'm gonna pretend, because I'm not going towards the wall, I'm going towards the camera. But that's what we'd love to do, okay? Also, I've set up this little tiny square for demonstrating. You guys, I'd love to see your square be at least like 3 yards by 3 yards, if not 5 by 5, okay? So first one, and also just for the purposes of these demonstrations, consider this cone 1, 2, 3, and 4. okay? So if I reference a cone number, that's what I'm talking about. So what we're gonna do here is getting in a good defensive position. Again, these are defensive drills. So we're going to hit every cone, coming back to the first cone with appropriate footwork and working on our drop steps and our changing direction, okay? So the first thing that we'll do is accelerate out to cone 2, drop step, shuffle back, accelerate up to cone 3, drop step the other way, right? Because we wanna face the middle here, shuffle back, accelerate out to cone 3, drop step, shuffle home, and this is where then you would accelerate out through the middle of the box, get your ground ball, hit your shot, okay? So I want you guys to take your time, get in 10 reps of each of the things I just talked about, okay? So again, just to reiterate, this first one is gonna be up, drop step back, up, drop step back, out, drop step, shuffle across, accelerate out, okay? Again, my box is really mini, but yours should be bigger. All right, second set. We're gonna actually start up here on cone 2, okay? This time we're gonna work on drawing that little bow tie with our box. Some of you 22s, I think we did this on Saturday, but what I want you guys to focus on here is the acceleration towards the end, all right? So if we're starting here on cone 2, we're essentially already engaged with our attacker, and then we have to drop off and re-engage, okay? So we're starting here on cone 2. I want you to shuffle back to cone 4, accelerate to 3, turn, drop, accelerate back to 1, and then sprint out of the box. So you're actually only doing one set of shuffles, everything else is a run, okay? So you're going to, we're starting here, you're engaged, you've got to drop off, accelerate, turn, and get out, get your ground ball. Apologies for the construction happening in my neighborhood. All right, so go ahead, get 10 reps in of that. Again, remember, we're engaged, we're dropping off, and then we're accelerating in different directions. All right, third set, you guys. So the third set here is you're going to start on your first cone. We're only going to use cones 1 and 2 for this. I want you to get into a good defensive position, and we're going to get into your quick feet, okay? So get your knees over your toes, quick feet, count yourself 5 seconds, and then I want you to quick feet for 5 seconds, accelerate up to, explode out to the top cone, back pedal back to your first cone, and then again burst out for the ground ball, okay? So it's quick feet, accelerate, okay? Working on that quick acceleration out of the quick feet, double quicks there, okay? Back pedal and back. So quick feet, accelerate, back pedal, and then re-accelerate. Last one of the defensive footworks is this. And remember, we should be kind of stopping and getting in 10 reps of everything, grabbing a quick drink of water, come back. So now this one's gonna be all running, all changing directions, and trying to see how quickly you can get your reps. This is a great opportunity to time yourself, okay? How quickly, and can your 10th rep be as fast as your first rep, okay? So what we're gonna go here is of 1, 3, 2, 4 pattern, all running, okay? So what it's gonna look like if you're, again, I have my little mini box. What's gonna look like is accelerate out, going around every cone. So we're starting back here at cone 1, accelerating, drop and turning, accelerating, okay? So you wanna make sure you go around every single cone, running, and we're changing direction every time and getting back to 1. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, sprint out for your ground ball, all right? This is one that I'd love to do at practice this weekend. Time you guys and see if you can hit the same kind of times that you're hitting on your own at home. All right, you guys, shifting gears just a little bit, want to focus a little bit more on like attacking midi footwork. All of this is super applicable for all of you, whether you're a goalie, defender, midi, any of the above. But this is specifically focusing on our starts. Think of it situationally as like an 8-meter or a draw, or a goalie also an 8-meter, okay? So what we want to work on here is that forward motion. A lot of times what we see is when you guys are going for starts on an 8-meter, draw, any of those things, our first movement is actually to go backwards, okay? We tend to rock back and then move forward. So what we're working on here is getting that initial explosive movement so that your first step is forward, okay? Because that extra half a second a lot of times is going to be the difference in who actually comes up with the ball or gets the shot off, whatever, okay? So to start out here, what I have set up is I've got a little row of 4 cones. If you have a mini hurdle, even better, but this is totally fine setup. I also, you'll notice I'm gonna have a cone behind my back heel, and then I have a cone up there, I'm not sure you can see it, that's like sort of my goal, my target, okay? The first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to start with no stick, nothing like that. What I want is, whichever is your more comfortable front foot, all right? I want it lined up behind the line and getting into a good starting motion, okay? Think of a runner taking off for a race, okay? So you're getting into this front foot, putting your weight, leaning forward, and then the point of this back cone is actually it should slide in right underneath your back heel. Okay, so if I'm turning so you guys can kind of see it on the film, what you want is when we get into this starting motion, you want this not touching your foot, but just under it, so that essentially it's going to tell you if your first motion is backwards when we start. Okay, so what it is it's kind of like you're keeping you honest as we go through this drill. So you're going to get into this starting motion, okay? Ooh, fixing that, sorry. You're gonna get into this starting motion, heels up off the ground, and all I want you to do for this first set of reps is work on either say go to yourself, have someone say go, set a timer, whatever it is, have some sort of signal that's your go, and I want you to work on your first step being immediately over and accelerating towards your cone, okay? So again, we have our heel up, it's not touching the cone, and we're in our ready position, and whoever it is that says go or whatever your mark is, okay, the first thing that's going to happen is this heel is coming off the ground and you're accelerating towards your goal. Give yourself probably about 5 yards so you can accelerate out, sprint, jog, whatever. It's only 5 yards, you can handle it, okay? And I want you to honestly go for about 2 minutes, getting in as many starts as you can, all right? Hopefully you're going to feel those butt muscles from the beginning of our workout, okay? Because this is what those muscles are doing. So last demo for me, you're going to get into that starting motion, explode over, and run out towards your target, all right? Once you've done your 2 minutes of those, now I want you to we're going to add in the stick, all right? One of the other things that I often see is as soon as we put the stick back in your hands, now all of a sudden we get really awkward again, okay? Couple of options. Personally, I like to start with it a little bit in front of me. It kind of leads me forward, especially if I have the ball. If I'm a defender, obviously we can't have our stick inside the 8 or over the line, so we've got to have it up in the air, but you can still have your arms out in front, and all it is your stick is pointing back, ready to lunge forward, okay? So, but for the purposes of this drill, all right, we're going to work on getting our stick out in front of us, and again, on that whistle or mark or whatever it is, still making sure this is our first movement, and by the time you've gotten to your cone, your arms are up in a shooting position, okay? So it should be about 1, 2, 3 shot, essentially, but you guys probably can't really see me all the way through it, but if we're here, we're gonna get going and say we're pretending I have the ball in this instance, okay? So it's gonna be whistle, over, 2, 3, plant, okay? So we're working on that quick motion for right now, exploding forward. If you're more of a defender, I still recommend practicing that, but if you feel like that's useless, or you don't have a wall, or you don't have whatever, same idea. We're gonna work on keeping that back heel up again, and on that whistle, our first step is here, okay? So making that transition from here to getting your stick out in front of you, all right? So go ahead again, give me a good 2 minutes of reps on that. All right, once we've gotten in our 2 minutes of reps with that, now we can start to get a little bit more creative, especially if you have a goal or a bounce back or any of those things. And if you don't, again, we're just gonna use our imagination. So getting back into these workouts, this footwork. Now what we're gonna do is same thing, but we're going to explode out. And when you hit that cone, I want you to dodge to your left and then do it, okay? So what we're doing now is just making it a little bit more game-like. So we're gonna keep going with that same footwork, those starts. As you start to get tired, the likelihood that you're gonna go backwards first increases. So hold yourself accountable. And if you're going backwards, start over, go back, okay? Practice only makes perfect if you're doing it right. So make sure that if you feel yourself hit that cone, you don't count that one, kind of erase it, go back and start it again. But now you're gonna accelerate out, go ahead and hit a dodge, and then work on adding in different dodges, okay? So face dodge to the left, you can hit the cone and roll back out to your right, add in whatever you can, and go from there. All right, you guys, last thing of the day. The last thing I like to do is kind of put most of the things that we worked on all together, and see if we can't show you how this really is applicable to the stuff you see on Instagram and in a game and stuff like that. So the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna work on that start, get into a bit of the quick feet, and a little dodge, and let you guys rip if you have a cage, or pretend if you don't, like me, okay? So what we have here is the setup that I've got. 3 cones right here, a cone in the middle. If you are out of cones, feel free to use like plates, whatever. In this instance, if you want, you can use another stick. If you have a second stick, you could lay a stick down like this, totally fine. Honestly, you could use a stick for either of these 2 sets of cones as well. So I've got 2 sets of 3 cones and then 1 in the middle. All right, again, I would recommend spacing yours out a little bit more than what I have going on here. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna work on that start. Okay, so here we are, we're working on that start. On whatever your mark is, you're gonna accelerate towards your middle cone, and then you're gonna work on breaking those feet down like we did towards the beginning. Get into your quick feet, okay? Accelerate out, do it, and work on your dodge here, and follow through. So I'm actually gonna create a little bit more space for myself here, sorry. But what we have, the reason that we have like a line of cones here is a lot of times when we start to have you guys dodging, you do like a little face dodge and that's it. I want you guys to start thinking about using your whole body. Whichever way you're gonna dodge around the cones, okay? Hit the opposite side of the line, come back around before you dodge, okay? So again, what that's gonna look like is, get into your start, explode out without going backwards, accelerate into your quick feet, give yourself a couple seconds, and then explode left, right, and take your shot, okay? Alternate, hitting the right to the left for a shot, okay? And this is just super basic because we didn't do a lot of dodging today, but I want you guys to work on that. Hit at least 20 reps with your right, 20 reps with your left, and call it a day, all right? We'll see you guys this weekend.